Our focus now to the shocking and rather infuriating case from Pune that has caught the nation's attention, where the drunk son of a renowned realtor was released in a mere 15 hours after mowing down two people with his luxury sports car. Now the juvenile's father, Vishal Agarwal, who's a prominent real estate builder, has been detained. The bar owner as well as the bar manager who allegedly served liquor to the juvenile on the night of the tragedy have also been arrested. Another hotel owner has been arrested as the accused consumed alcohol at more than one place. Remember, the bail conditions for the juvenile had garnered widespread criticism because some of the conditions included working with the traffic police for 15 days, writing an essay on the accident, undergoing treatment for his drinking habits, and then preparing a PowerPoint presentation on road safety to give to the Juvenile Justice Board.
We will try and prove to all concerned, all stakeholders, we have adopted the most stringent possible approach, and we shall do whatever is at our command to ensure that the two young lives which were lost gets justice and the accused gets duly punished.
So he was underage. He was driving an unregistered car with no license plate. He was allegedly under the influence of alcohol, and then he went on and killed two people, tried to flee from the spot, and then he was let out in 15 hours with bail conditions that are a mockery of the justice. It's a shocking case to say the least, but the case is not closed yet, thanks on account of the nationwide uproar that's happening at this point. Let me go across to my colleague Shrishti, who's joining us live at this point. Shrishti, from what I understand of the case, it hinges entirely on to whether the police are able to nail the fact that the accused was under the influence of alcohol when he was driving, because that substantially changes what section of the law he's charged under. What are the updates coming in for the point? Have the police been able to prove at this point that he was indeed drunk while he was driving?
Well, when asked about the amount of alcohol present in the accused body, the CP of Pune, Amitesh Kumar, refused to answer that, and he said that we won't reveal the details of the particular investigation. However, what comes across is that now people have been, nabbed by the Pune Police Crime Branch, and the main in this particular matter is that the father of the accused, he was on run. He was found in Sambhajinagar. He will be brought into Pune and will be presented in front of court. Now, what comes across is that other accused, the bar owner, the bartenders, the servers, and the managers of both the bars where this particular accused, the first accused in this particular case, had alcohol, had ordered alcohol. Those owners and those managers of those particular bars and restaurants, one is a cozy bar and restaurant and other is a black bar and restaurant, they will be questioned and they will be detained by the Pune police, and they will be brought into Pune and the investigation will go further. But importantly, two important things which is mentioned in FIR is that the father has given the permission to his child to drive the Porsche without having a particular license to drive this. He was very well known about the fact that the license is not there, and still he has given the permission. Secondly, and importantly, at two different bars, he was served alcohol without asking the age. And that is the important thing, and that is the main loophole wherein we can see that the checks and balances were not, done. The basic requirement which is needed, that was not checked. And that's why two people have lost their life. And now there is outrage from entire country, to seek justice for these two people who are just 24, 25 years of age and have lost their life in the middle of street. And it was absolutely uncalled for. They were here in Pune, to learn, to, explore their careers. But what comes across in their fate is that they have lost their life just because a person was drunk and he was driving a Porsche car, and that too without license. And this is absolutely irresponsible behavior. And on the contrary, now what is the important point in this particular investigation, in this particular matter, is that the bail conditions are very, very shocking, wherein the bail condition was to write an essay, assisting the traffic police, with their works, understanding the traffic rules, and going for a treatment wherein he will be educated for not having alcohol. Are these the basic bail conditions? Is this only the cost of lives of the people who have died? This is a very questionable thing, and that bail
Indeed, Srishti,
conditions
these are the
were the
questions which the
pinpoint
nation
wherein
is
entire
asking as to
nation
how
is in
can these
shock.
be questions on the basis of, how can these be conditions on the basis of which a person is given bail after mowing down two people. Srishti, thank you so much for joining us. We'll put that across to
Yeah.
my guests who are joining us in this debate as well. But before that, the Uddhav Sena has asked for the sacking of the police commissioner, saying that a corrupt nexus of power and connections needs to end. Listen in to what Sanjay Raut said.
पुलिस कमिश्नर को सस्पेंड करिए। उसने आरोपी को बचाने की कोशिश की है। एक कपल, युवा कपल 25 साल का, जिस बेरहमी से कुचल दिया, और जो लड़का है शराबी, उसको 2 घंटे में बेल मिलता है। हाँ, उसका रिपोर्ट मेडिकल नेगेटिव आता है। जो शराब पिया है वो वीडियो सामने है। कौन मदद कर रहा है? पुलिस कमिश्नर कौन है? ये पुलिस कमिश्नर सस्पेंड करो, नहीं तो पुणे की जनता को सड़क पर उतरना होगा।
Let's put that across to my guests who are joining me at this point. We expect to be joined by Pervez Memon, who's a senior lawyer shortly, and also joining me right now is Nirmal Kaur, former DGP of Jharkhand. Nirmal Kaur, do you agree with Sanjay Raut's assessment that the police commissioner here needs to be suspended? Because some would say that if there's one case where the police has been quite proactive in not accepting the ridiculous bail conditions set up by the juvenile court, it is here. And the Pune police so far has been trying its level best to ensure that the accused is brought to book.
The juvenile court has conditions. Conditions are, of course, very bizarre. 2 people dead, in obsequies, and you ask him to write an essay and learn traffic rules. That is a mockery of justice. Juvenile Justice Board, Juvenile Justice Court has really favored the person for whatever reason. But how the police complicity comes in, I won't know. And also the breathalyzer test, the alcohol test, blood test has been conducted, and if it is above 0.03%, he is definitely under the influence of alcohol. But alcohol or no, then 199A, the guardian is presumed to, if the vehicle has been given to a minor, he is presumed it is his responsibility. He is presumed to have given his permission. And again, the Juvenile Justice Act, the 2 sections will be applicable to his father. Section 77, Section 75 of Juvenile Justice Act 2015. So there's a lot of law against the father, but also the child is responsible. He's 17, and apparently, as per the media reports, this car was gifted to him, to the child, to this boy, the accused, by his father on his 17th birthday. He's not even 18 yet. And how come he's been gifted a car, and a very expensive car at that, and car is not even registered? It is out on the road, and a registered car being driven by a minor. So, you can see that these days the rich are bringing up their children. See, you are a law unto yourself. You can do anything, you can get away with. I'll manage the courts, I'll manage the board, I'll manage the cops, I'll manage everything, I'll manage the society, the politicians, I'll get you to write an essay for killing 2 people. This kind of, this thing, it is implied in the conduct towards the children that even if you commit murder, I will save you. That is the kind of upbringing they are giving their children. So, which is a very sad, pathetic reflection on our society and the value of money which we are putting on.
The upbringing aspect and the callous, scant regard for life and respect for other people is evident in the fact about how this boy, who's not even 18, was given the keys for an unregistered Porsche to go and drive around and have fun. Pervez Memon, I'd like to bring you in as a senior lawyer in this case. If I'm not, the first time I remember there was a massive debate as to whether should juveniles be tried as adults, especially if they're above the age of 16 and 17, and if they're accused in heinous crimes, was after the Nirmal case, and then there was a law that was brought in which to this effect, which was the Juvenile Justice Act in 2015. Now, could you explain it to our viewers as to under what conditions will that act or the provisions of that law apply in this case as well?
Well, Ritangshu, I completely agree, and I can share the agony and pain of the people who have lost their lives and their parents. To add insult to the injury, as we have seen how the scene has unfolded since day before night, about political interference and policies taking sides and shifting the blame here and there. Some person is saying that they were not drunk, whereas the CCTVs of the pubs and bars show that they were heavily drinking till 12:10 in one pub and thereafter in the other. So, of course, the evidence per se is scathing in the face of it, and there is no escape to these people if they have to face the music of the law. As you rightly said, that after the Nirbhaya case, the Juvenile Justice Act has been did in the year 2015 to address such similar kind of a situation, because we have seen in the past that in the Nirbhaya case, the person who was most responsible to that inhuman crime against Nirbhaya was let off because he was juvenile then, though he was 17. So thereafter, the law was amended to the effect that the people who are within the age bracket of 16 to 18, which reasonably are mature enough to take mature decisions and abide law. Law considers you to be major once you attain majority on reaching the age of 18. But that doesn't mean that if you are 17 and a half, you are an idiot and you will get only your maturity within the next 6 months. So that's what the legislature thought in its wisdom, that between 16 and 18, it is for the Juvenile Justice Board to decide, bearing in mind the seriousness of the offense that they have committed and whether they should be tried as adult or not. The Section 15 of the Juvenile Justice Act provides that if the offender is accused of a heinous crime, which is punishable for more than 7 years, then he can be tried as an adult. In this case, I expect that the Juvenile Justice Board would take the same logic and try them as adults.
But it depends heavily as to whether the police is able to establish the fact that he was intoxicated and driving under the influence of alcohol, because only then, correct me if I'm wrong, Parvez Menon, only then Section 304 applies, because otherwise he would just be booked under 304A, which is death by negligence, that carries a maximum penalty for only 2 years, in which case the heinous provision would not apply, and then he would probably get away with not even serving those 2 years, but just a few months in a correctional home.
Ritangshu, you are absolutely right that if it is not established that they were under the influence of alcohol, then they would be tried for only under 304A, which is punishable for up to 2 years, whereas 304 Part 2 is punishable up to 10 years. So it would all depend upon the findings of the chemical lab where their blood samples have been sent. But from whatever we read from the newspaper and media reports, today morning I was reading the Times of India, where the investigating officers have themselves come out with a theory that they have collected the CCTVs from inside the pubs and the bars. I have also read from the news sources that the Honorable Home Minister Devendra Fadnavis had also invoked to book the pub owners for serving liquor to the minors. So if on one hand we say that we will prosecute the pub owners who were serving liquors, it is pregnant with the fact that these people were drunk.
Indeed. Absolutely. Nirmal Kaur, let's focus on these individuals here. On one hand, yes, there is a boy who was 17 years, 8 months of age. He definitely should have had the wisdom enough to not be doing the things which he did on that night. But I want to talk about the people who put him in that position here. We were just running the pictures of your accused of accessed of his father, who has now been arrested. The father of the realtor, father of this brat, whether it be the bar owners and the bar staff, there were at least 2 from what we understand who served this boy and his friends liquor. The Porsche dealer who allowed the car to be used without a registration and a license plate. This clearly indicates a much wider nexus and a much prevalent one at that, in fact, in which if you're a prominent individual with political and social contacts, you can get the entire system to bend to you to ensure that you and your family enjoy perks of breaking the law.
Truly so. We have this institution of privilege. Some people are privileged, some are not. If you have money or political power or position, you fall in the privileged category. And if you don't have, you are an ordinary person. So many under trials for very minor offenses like pickpocket are rotting in jails for years and years, despite Section 436 CRPC, despite so many things. They don't even have the money to put up their bail, where bail is a right for them after they have served half the sentence. And here you see this boy, after killing 2 people, He's asked to write a 300-word essay, and then he's asked to visit the RTO office and learn the traffic rules. What is that? I mean, it's a mockery of, whatever our social conduct, our rules, our laws, our social practices, norms, just goes to reinforce that if you have money and power, you can make anything happen, whether it's the law-abiding town of Pune or whether it's Mumbai, whether it's the politicized town of Delhi, anywhere. Any town you can get anything done if you have the pulls and you can pull a few strings and you can manage anything. And no matter how serious, how tragic, how much it means to those two techies who are dead today, what it means to the society to have lost them, what it means to have a boy at large with a high-end car, where the motor races like anything in a second or in 10 seconds, it goes from 0 to 1. And that boy is let loose with his car and he's bragging, he's showing around, he's drinking alcohol in the bars. The clubs are very happy to serve him. And I would say police has proactively collected the footage of the drinks being served. So that will, if you book everyone who's involved, apart from the main accused, the primary accused, which is the boy's father, it will send a message if it is strictly taken. And this message, high time this message went to everyone. No matter what your position in the society is, you
Absolutely.
have to follow the law. Rule of law is there for everyone. It cannot be that law can be managed by those who have the power to purchase justice.
And if your love
This is
for your
not justice.
child, if you're so blinded by the love for your child that you let your child drive a Porsche which is unregistered when he's not 18 and let him speed and be drunk when he's not at the age of 18, if you're so blinded in love for your child, then you better pay the consequences. It's very important that that message be sent. Nirmal Kaur and Parvez Memon, thank you so much for breaking it down for our viewers. We'll keep coming back to you through the day because our focus remains on this story. But the other